Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
What's up, everybody? I'm Michael.
This is Cleve.
And welcome to an exciting episode of Friendship.
Right.
I almost did it. What are the podcasts that dares to ask? Have you ever had Funko Pops ruin your whole life?
I don't know if they've... Well, yes, they've ruined my life. But I don't know that today's episode necessarily ruined my life.
They've ruined my enjoyment of collection.
Yeah. You know, there was a time where I was like, I enjoy hunting. And now I'm like, you know what it is? It's the constant pushing out the same one in a different color. Like, the last time I saw them get away with that was like Thanos, but he was the color of all the stones.
Yeah.
Like, this is probably the last one you guys can do like this. But they said, nah. They kept doing
Watch us.
I got a collection box that was like when they announced they weren't going to do it anymore. And it's just an Iron Man and a Captain America that I have, I'm sure, 3 of, that's bronzed instead of their normal colors. I'm like, well, you guys are really
reaching for the
killing
stars
these
on
last
this one.
ones.
I have one that just recently happened that is probably not a spoiler for most people, but was a spoiler for me, and it kind of bummed me out.
Oh, okay. Today's episode is about when Funko Pop spoiled movies. Go ahead, Michael.
I don't know that I want to do it because it's a movie that just came out.
Which movie?
Captain America.
Ooh. Stay till the end to hear that one.
And I'll tell you guys, it's not like a super big secret, but like it just felt like, oh, that's kind of, I would have liked to have just found it in the movie.
Brings me to the first one. The first one that I think I was really like, hey, why'd you do that? When the Giant Man pop came out for Captain America Civil War. And I was like, man, that would have been just cool to see.
Yep.
And not know it was coming. And then now I'm waiting for it to happen. And they're fighting at the airport. And I'm like, okay, it's got to be now, right? Because why would it be any other time?
And it's not just Funko that's done this. Like other toys have been known to do this, but Funko is just in the forefront of everything now and is just littering with oversaturation of toys. So they're in the crosshairs at this point.
Yeah. You get all those licenses, you're going to run into some problems.
Right.
Yeah, I remember thinking, oh, that would have been cool to just come across, especially because the director of Ant-Man wanted to do Giant Man, and they're like, no, don't do that.
We're holding on to that. You can't have that right now.
And then the Russo brothers in Civil War didn't want to do it, and they're like, hey, put that in there.
But what if we did a big...
They wanted to apparently go a whole other route, and they were like, kind of like Avengers.
The Russo brothers really wanted Ant-Man to go into Thanos' urethra.
Yeah, I get it. That's a big one for me.
Why was that such a push? Why were fans like, that would be fun?
I don't think that would be fun. I think it's like, obviously that would work. You should just do that. Like, if you have a guaranteed way to take this guy out, why don't you get on in there?
And then the boys did it, so.
But also, like, how did you plan to get me there? Like, I shrink, okay. Now what? Is it just up to me to climb my way up?
Look, he's got to undress at some point, okay?
Is Hawkeye gonna bullseye him in the brown eye, and then I'm just gonna go in from there? What's the plan? That's the part I don't think people thought about. It could be done, but explain to me how it's gonna get done.
It's rough. Anyway, what's the next pop?
The next one I thought about was the Green Ranger pop from the Power Rangers movie. Remember? It happens very early, so it's not. No, okay, so for the most part, none of these are like the biggest spoilers ever.
Right.
In fact, a lot of pops that I think would spoil big things have come out significantly later. Like, I think Breaking Bad's a big one. There's a guy that's like half his face is gone. Like they came out well after the episode where half his face was gone came out. Um, but we talked about this when that movie came out long ago on a completely different podcast of the Green Ranger and how we thought that was going to be implemented. And they were like, here's a pop of the Green Ranger and the Red Ranger. So even then, let the surprise of the Green Ranger showing up be there. Don't take it from me.
If I remember correctly, Rita was the Green Ranger and Zordon was the Red Ranger. Yeah.
Yes.
And at the end, they had the teaser like they were going to give me a second movie with Tommy.
Some say they're still waiting for him to sign into detention. Next is Headpool, Baby Pool, and Kid Pool for Deadpool and Wolverine. Again, not something that's like it didn't affect the story of it at all. It's not like I don't think a lot of these are. You can tell me because some of the licenses I don't know as much, but it's not like they released Captain America holding Mjolnir. You know, like that would have been devastating to see in a 3-inch figure before I saw it in the movie.
I think that above all else, Deadpool is just oversaturated in general. Like, and so I'd prefer to just see less of him. Movies are great, but like I'd just rather see less of him in comics and in toys. Just personal opinion. That's probably not popular. It's my hot take.
I wrote this one down. I wanted to see what you thought about it. It was the pop of Hulk busting out of the Hulk Buster.
I remember you being pretty upset about that one.
That didn't happen at all.
Yeah, they showed it in a pop form, and then it was like this didn't happen.
So now, so let me ask you this because it's like a reverse, right? You thought I spoiled something and I didn't. Do you? But also, you're still messing with fans because to me now I'm looking, waiting for that moment to happen.
I want it to happen, yeah.
And then it never happens.
Just like when Jyn Erso says it's a rebellion, we rebel, and then that never happens in the movie, so I can't make fun of it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They probably saw you coming.
They did. They said this guy, he's one of those.
So the next one I feel like is probably like the bigger like part of the story being spoiled is the pops of the Shazam family
all having their own powers. Shazam. Yeah. Fair enough.
That was a really big moment in the movie. If you're not following the comics, you have no idea that's coming unless you see these stupid little 3-inch figures coming into the shelves.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I guess.
That's very fair because it is not something that you would have expected, right? Even in the original TV show, it was just one kid.
Yeah.
And your expectation would be it's just one person, so why would you expect it to be a bunch of his family? Yeah. I don't think the original trailers even had his family getting magic superpowers.
That one to me is probably one of the bigger ones.
Which is a shame because it was a really good movie, so don't try to take his legs out from underneath it.
Yep, well, Levi's picked his path now, so now it's dead forever.
No!
The next one is there's a Funko Pop of Nightlight, the baby dragon from How to Train Your Dragon 3. Apparently, people were upset about this one because in the trailer you knew that there was like a female counterpart for Toothless, and then like they're like, "Here's a pop of their baby."
Whoever
Yeah.
is upset about that's real dumb.
Okay.
Because
Tagging people
it was pretty obvious that was about to happen.
You don't know that you'll get to see it though necessarily.
Fair.
You don't
I
see
suppose.
Ash's Butterfree's Caterpies running around.
Fine.
You let them go out into the wild, and then they do what they do.
Fine.
This one I feel is weird, but it is technically on the list. It is Superman from the Justice League movie. Like, they hinted at him in trailers, but never actually showed him.
Because he died before in Batman vs. Superman.
He died in Batman vs. Superman.
So the fact that they show, I mean...
And then they show him in his normal suit, which I guess could spoil it because a lot of people obviously wanted him to come back in the black.
Yeah.
Like the comics.
Because I only remember the statue pop that came out. I don't remember the one that they spray painted False God on or something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was like it wasn't an exclusive. It was just him like with his hand to the ground, like superhero pose wise. But yeah, it came out before the movie, and people were like, "Well, I guess."
Does feel like a big spoiler. I guess you expect it for the Justice League, but it also why build up to him dying if you're not
especially when the movie does such a good job of like never showing him.
Mm-hmm.
So for the movie and the trailers to never show Henry Cavill, who is a star that you should be putting front and center, and you're not.
Yeah, that feels like that one is the biggest misstep so far to me.
Yeah. You'll have to help me with this one. It is from Game of Thrones. It is the Night King ride pop.
I remember
him on the dragon.
Yeah, I remember that coming out and people being kind of annoyed by it. No, that being said, I think the book had already come out. I'm not super versed in the book, but it was like a really big scene, so it is kind of weird.
But in America, where we don't read, like, that's a big deal then, right?
It was kind of a big deal, yeah.
And I guess what I remember reading about it was like, oh, they didn't know which dragon, maybe, or something like. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no input on this one actually whatsoever.
I mean,
I just know that one happened before the other, and it was the pop.
I came to the Game of Thrones scene late, but yeah, I mean that was a big deal and a big scene.
Let me know in the comments if that one bothered you, because it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I didn't care.
The next one is Orym from Alien.
It's tough to really piss me off about a spoiler in a movie.
Huh?
I said it's tough to really like piss me off about a spoiler in a movie.
Yeah, well, it's because especially these aren't, depending on what they are, they're not like devastating. Again, you got to think of a movie that matters to you, like on a super high level.
Can you imagine how they released? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm like, and then like, imagine a dumb little action figure spoiling that for you.
Can you imagine like a Gamora at the bottom of the pit, dead?
Yeah,
here's the spot. Be like, fuck.
I did see when I was looking into this, there was an action figure of like a Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and it had the cowl on. I had not seen anything of that. And I imagine I would not have been happy to know that, because I remember when he did it in the movie, I was like, oh shit, like he's had this whole time. So I can imagine that being devastating. And that, I can't remember who made the figure, but it looked like a picture of Hugh Jackman. Like it was a high level figurine. Anyway, yeah, Orym from Aliens. It was like one of the newer Alien movies were coming out. It's a pop of him with like a face hugger on.
Oh, so you know that he's gonna get face hugged,
right? You know that man's going down, and how it happens. Yeah. Next one is the Ghost of Will Turner for Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
God, were Funko Pops out then? It feels so long ago. What him dying?
Basically, him taking over the ship and all that stuff. It was like he had fucking coral on him or however they dressed him up.
This is such a good fucking action figure of Hugh Jackman. It's such a good action.
I'm telling you, man, it looks like they took a picture of that man.
I'm trying to figure out who makes it. Hasbro. That's solid.
That's not a big surprise, right?
No. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no. Kind of like the whole end of the movie is Will Turner being a ghost and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess.
I think you don't like pirates.
I would say it's tough because I don't like. Although that was my favorite of the pirate movies. Was that one, the third one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know that I felt that way, but yeah.
No, most people didn't.
But to be fair, like I can't tell you what her one is.
I think there's five.
I don't even remember a fifth one.
Nope.
Oh, they all came back, right?
Yeah. I think I really enjoyed the third one for the very beginning scene, and I don't know that I can tell you anything else about the movie.
Was that the one where they stole the safe?
It's the beginning where all the people that were convicted of being either pirates or helping pirates were getting hung, and they're all singing the chant together. I just thought it was a real cool chant and a good then they hung a child, and I was like, man, shit's got to go down now. Anyway.
Yeah. The next one is Thor from Thor Ragnarok. It is the Hot Topic exclusive of him holding
Stormbreaker?
No. The guy
Meek?
with the horns. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why is it so hard to think of his name? I can see his statue right now. I know who you're talking about. The guy that brings on Ragnarok.
Yeah, Surtur.
Surtur, yep.
Yeah. Not the biggest. Again, this one isn't really a big one, but like
because it happens in the beginning.
Know that Thor handles it because this happens very early.
And I do feel like in the trailer they did play it up like it was going to be this big thing, and then it was not.
Well, that's the whole thing. That I guess you really squash the expectations because you know that he's what brings Ragnarok, and then you kill him 2 minutes in the movie, and so you think, what's this movie about now? And then, spoiler, he does it anyway. The next one's interesting because it completely slipped me altogether. The Captain Marvel, it's Jude Law's character, which now that I think about it, after watching Skeleton Crew, it's another time where he was just a fucking character that I'm like, God, I hope
he's real good at being someone I hate.
I hope you get yours.
Yep.
But his character, they put out a pop for him, and the character was Urog. And apparently everyone was very in the mindset that he was going to be Captain Marvel. And that there was a lot of they didn't really list who he was for the movie.
But the pop
Funko was like, just kidding. This is his name right here. Don't you worry. I got you.
Yeah, that would have missed me too, because I wasn't well versed in the Captain Marvel lore.
For all I knew, it could have been Marvel's real name. You know?
Yeah, fair.
But apparently that was a big one for people.
You know what? I don't feel so bad when it's like real deep cuts like that, but sure. Maybe it's not a deep cut, I guess.
Well, the people who are real fans of shit, they're already dissecting the shit out of it.
Yeah, that's why I feel less bad about it. Because they're looking for it.
And waiting. Yeah.
They're looking for things to tell them what's going to happen, and then they get pissed when they do find them, so.
I only have two more.
Okay.
Rory with the Predator mask from the 2018 Predator movie. I never even saw that movie.
No.
Apparently, the Predators were trying to splice DNA or something.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why he has that mask on.
They did that once with xenomorphs, and it didn't go well.
But now they're trying humans. I guess they're like,
Fair.
These xenomorphs look crazy. Let me get these humans.
Let me get on this human life.
But
Tell
so
me
yeah,
about
that
Sabaro.
seems like a real big plot point
That is
in the movie.
Yeah.
Let out with a Funko Pop. But also, I guess he could have just found the mask and put it on for all we know.
But like, why are you fucking it up, Funko?
Yeah, why are you fucking it up?
Why are you fucking it up?
What?
Why you gotta do that?
But you know what? Also, I think about it because Squid Game came out and it was big.
Uh-huh.
And everybody was like, give me the Funko Pop for Squid Game. I need them now. And then I feel like they came out way later and people were like, I don't really want these.
But what about when Squid Game 2 came out?
I haven't watched the first episode of that.
I haven't either.
I don't.
I gotta get back in the mindset of it.
How do you take me on the ride again?
Yeah.
Not that I don't think the guy's not going to tell the story well.
I just gotta get back in that mindset of wanting to watch it.
Yeah, it was such a unique first. Well, not unique, right? But like a shock for the first ride. Now I know it's coming.
Fair.
Maybe I don't. Maybe it's well written, and I'm gonna be on my butt about it.
Maybe you'll think you know what's coming, and then Funko Pop will come out with something that ruins it for you.
Or I could just watch the fucking
Mr. Beast one. It's terrible.
No, did you watch it?
No.
Oh.
I can't bring myself to watch anything Jimmy does.
I have the jury's out.
Hot take, guys. I'm not a fan of Big Mr. Beast
anymore.
I don't think ever. I appreciate the philanthropy, but I don't think I was ever like
when he gave out money. And
I appreciate his philanthropy. Outside of that, I didn't enjoy any of his content.
There's never like, hey, I'm gonna tip this pizza delivery guy $10,000.
I hate that style of video. I appreciate that someone got some money because get yours, but I'm gonna tell you now, I wasn't watching those videos.
Yeah,
it wasn't for me. It's for my 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Who's like, I could get $1 million from Mr. Beast one day, and I'm like, I don't know how to explain this to you, sweetie. It's never gonna happen.
He only does it like a 10-mile radius, so unless you're over there, you just fucking waiting around at Walmart with a cart full of stuff. Hope Mr. Beast will come in.
I just walk around. I sure hope nobody comes and buys all these groceries for me.
Oh no, I don't have as much money as I thought I did.
No, I hate that like clickbaity fucking using people that are down and out for content.
Yeah,
it's wild. Funko come out with a spoiler for that. Mr. Beast is actually
do they have a Mr.
lizard.
Beast Pop? They have to, right?
No, I bet he has a YouTube's. I don't think he has a Funko Pop.
Yeah, I get some YouTube's. The last one, I feel like we both watched, and I feel like both would have been like, damn. Had we seen this? One, yes, and one, not so much. They came out for Pops for Wiccan and Death and Agatha All Along.
Oh, that would have been a bummer.
Yeah, because we didn't know that Death was Death necessarily. We had a pretty good idea that Wiccan was Wiccan.
I think like episode 1 or 2, I sent you a message like, "Hey, this is Wiccan, right?"
They flirted with the fact that it could have been her son for a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't buy that. But Death was surprising, and I wish we would do more with Death.
Who's the
That's fair.
She's going through stuff now, so probably it's not going to do anything for a minute.
I'm just saying, like, if we could somehow have that Thanos graphic novel, that 12-issue run with Death, that was a solid one.
It's so weird to introduce Death after we like found a way to not involve her with him.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what writers do, right? Or ChatGPT, one or the other.
It's all ChatGPT at this point.
That's fine. Is it fun? Is Captain America: Brave New World fun?
Oh, I don't know. I hope so.
I was talking to someone and they were saying that Anthony Mackie, I guess, as a character or even as an actor, doesn't resonate like strength like the other Marvel characters have. And I think it's because he's the first maybe true sidekick of all these characters, you know what I mean?
He was, yeah.
And like you think about Captain America where he's like fucking grabbing the helicopter and grabbing the building and like, you know, you see him bulk out. But also now that I think about it, I mean, Peter Quill, Thor, Captain America, hell, Ant-Man, they made like this transformation in their bodies. And they don't really give Anthony Mackie that kind of shine. The only thing I remember is when he was training in the forest.
Yeah, with the shield.
And I get that he does, super soldier, so he's just supposed to be like a regular guy, but like even uh Black Panther, I feel like you got that strength off of him, even though they didn't give him like a shirtless scene like they did everybody else.
Renner doesn't necessarily have it. Hawkeye.
Yeah, and that's the equivalent,
The
right?
other human.
It's as if you gave Hawkeye the shield.
Yeah.
Like he's just a guy.
I mean, there was the scene in the trailer where he goes, "Man, I really should have taken the serum." So, I mean, I think it's that.
In the comics, they find some way to give him a little juice, but yeah, just an interesting thought that, yeah, like you're right, because he's a smaller guy.
Yeah,
he's a smaller, slicker guy.
I have really enjoyed his portrayal so far, so I'm going into this movie with a lot of hope.
Yeah, that's always dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's always best to be like Justice League. We enjoyed Justice League because it was like, oh, I expected trash, so this was fine.
I tend to find the good in all the bad anyway, so I'm sure I'll come out of it still enjoying it. But anyways, guys, let us know if Funko ruined something for you. Maybe it's something we missed. Yeah, maybe we missed something. Let us know down in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you're looking for more content, we are Friendship Supreme everywhere you could look. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve. And I think I'm kind of done buying Funko Pops. Like,
so done.
It's just like I still enjoy the ones I have, but
if you want to buy mine, comment down below. I'll make you a good deal.
It was the landfill thing that really lost me. That one really bothered me.
Oh, you mean when Funko had a ton of product and they said to create a drive and desire and demand, we're gonna just throw away these thousands of Funko Pops? Corporate greed.
Word.
You guys are a real piece of shit out there.
Could have delivered a box to hospitals, but whatever.
Right. It's just an easy move. Anyways, bye guys.